Tech Talk with Matthew Dickerson. Matthew Dickerson. Tech Talk. Sit back and relax. It's time to talk technology.
Hello, Christmas shoppers. Naughty or nice, come one, come all. Welcome to Tech Talk with Matthew Dickerson. With only a couple of weeks left until the big day, we're doing our bit to get you out of your Christmas trouble and who knows, maybe even make you the legend of the lounge room on the 25th of December. And now, shimmying into the studio with an armload of wrapping paper and a fistful of fantastic gift ideas, it's Santa's Captain of the Elves in New South Wales. It's the king of the knickknacks. It's Matthew Dickerson. Season's greetings to you, Matt.
Thank you. Same to you, James. And I've done something, I've upgraded this year. Last year we had our 5G for Christmas.
Yes, we did.
Great Geek Gift Gadget Guide. I think that was it. So that was that were the 5Gs. But of course, we want to keep upgrading. We want to keep making things better. So this year we've upgraded from 5G to 6G. Ahead of the rest of the world. We're there first.
Well done us.
And I did struggle with this a little bit, but I came up with Gadgets Galore Great Geek Gift Guide. So there's my 6Gs. I'm worried about next year.
Yeah, 7Gs is going to be near impossible. Difficult. You're up for the challenge, I know you are.
Well, I will think about it in a year's time.
And the world needs 7G.
It does, indeed. But this is really, I'm being quite selfish here, James. My kids do struggle finding me a present because I see some cool technology and I go, hey, I want to get that, and so I buy it.
And you just get it. Yeah, you don't wait.
And the kids always say, what do we get for you,
Do you
Dad?
buy it for yourself in December?
Oh, I just buy it when I see it.
Oh,
I'm hopeless.
Matt, that's like cardinal sin. I get cranky with relatives when they buy stuff for themselves.
Right.
In December.
I just buy it whenever I see it. So what I've done here.
Wanted it, bought it. Instant gratification.
That's right.
Terrible message.
What I wanted to do here was give my kids some ideas. So I went and did some research about 20 different things that they could possibly buy me. And then I went, well, hold on, maybe there's some other people out there that have got a geek as a friend. Maybe they need that. So this is the whole idea behind the original gift guide for Christmas. So the geek in your life, we're going to give them 20 different random ideas on what they can buy.
Yeah, well done you. You're so generous.
Yes, indeed. And kids, make sure you're listening.
Okay, there's a whole lot of stuff to get through here today. So get your pens ready with some rapid-fire Christmas Day winners, starting with one for the chemistry nerds. Now, you may be familiar with the periodic table of the elements. For some, it may be the only thing that you remember from your high school science. Some people learn to recite all 118 elements off by heart. But I'll wager that nobody in your family has started to collect samples. Now, there's a challenge. Matt, you've got something to kick off the collection.
And it's building on from last year, or maybe it was even the year before when we had 4G for Christmas. I don't know if I did do that, but that sounds good. We had a periodic table of the elements where it was the full periodic table, and inside that plastic resin were little tiny samples of each of the different elements that were a solid at room temperature.
I'll grant you that, but I'm also going to grant you that some of them probably weren't really there.
Correct. So some of the ones that were maybe radioactive weren't there.
There's not a lot of frankium to actually get your hands on full stop, so I doubt they're going to put some in plastic.
And the hydrogen, helium, some of those ones weren't there as well. Again, they weren't a solid at room temperature. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually have got one of those sitting on my desk now.
So do I.
So they're pretty cool. So this is actually an extension, if you like, or variation of that, where rather than have the full periodic table and whatever elements you can have there that would be both legal and maybe sensible to have there, this has actually taken a 1 centimetre cube of different elements and giving it to you made of that material. So, for example, you can have aluminium, 1 centimetre cube of aluminium, and it's got information engraved on there. So, for example, you've got the atomic number, the chemical symbol, the name of it, obviously, the density, the purity, the atomic mass. So just all the basic information about that element. So if you've got someone that's a real carbon fan, iron fan, aluminium fan, that's right, then you can have a little block of carbon sitting on the desk there. It's
got the symbol and everything on there.
It's got all the information on
and
there.
It looks cool.
It might even be handy for, say, science teachers if they want to have a few different elements there just to do some comparison about different densities.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe different colours there.
I definitely thought about that. The science teacher nerd in me came out when I was thinking about that. I'll grant that they probably don't have any sodium or potassium or you can't get those. is.
Probably a bit
They're a little
hard.
bit reactive with water and moisture in the air, so they can cause some troubles there.
Yeah, and obviously there's different prices depending on what it is. So
Yeah.
the 1 centimetre square of gold.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get a cube of gold.
And just to be fair to my kids, I'm not expecting that one, okay, kids?
Platinum, yeah.
That's right. So there's a few, but I reckon some of the things like I say, copper, aluminium, iron. They've even got some of the rarer ones, niobium, molybdenum. If I got that right.
Easy for you to say.
That's
Yep.
right. But again, it'll vary in price there. But I think for some of the common elements or the ones that are a bit cheaper, more mass produced, it wouldn't be too bad a price. So keep an eye on that one. It's a different present for people.
Shifting focus now to poolside this summer. Now, a major problem for competitive swimmers is that largely, with each tumble turn, you've really got no idea how you're going. That is until you touch the end of your final lap and you look up at the scoreboard if you've got an electronic scoreboard there. Time to get your hands on some smart goggles, Matt.
I do actually wonder whether or not these will be allowed in competition. But I see marathon runners and they're running along and they look
you
down
check
at their
your
watch. That's right, and they're seeing how they're going.
Yeah, it's hard to guess why. I mean, and as you're swimming, if you're in lane 4, you've got no idea what the person in lane 6 or lane 7's doing.
No, you've only got really an idea of the one on either side
You're
of you.
really racing against yourself, aren't you?
You are. And if you think about a track cyclist or even a road cyclist, they can see the time they're doing. So there's all sorts of information for athletes in a whole range of different sports. But swimming, you've pretty much got that black line you're looking at, both in training and in competition. So what you need is goggle or a set of goggles that's got AR display technology built in the goggles. So you get this wonderful...
Tony Stark stuff again.
It
I love it.
Exactly
I love
right.
it.
So you get this 25-degree field of view that shows you 12 different metrics: time, the number of laps you've done, stroke, speed, calorie consumption. Probably don't care about that so much in a race, but for training, I think that's pretty important. So I see it for the casual amateur swimmer to begin with. The professionals have probably got the coaches there saying, go faster, go faster. So it doesn't matter what time you did go faster.
But I'm sure you
regardless.
can't hear instructions while you're racing through
Mid-lap,
those laps.
that's right.
Mid-lap,
Yeah. So I don't love swimming. I prefer riding a bike for exercise. But this is almost, James, almost, I'm not sure, but almost enough to get me excited enough to go, oh, maybe I should do a bit of swimming just so I can
Get
play
yourself
with this
some
technology.
smart goggles and get in that pool.
That's right. The next thing you need to add, of course, and they are available, are some headphones, some waterproof headphones that you can listen to music while you're doing the swimming there, because it's a bit hard to plug your normal AirPods in and leave them in while they're underwater
You're
with
lost
those.
in what you're doing. Now, there is, of course, no reason why you can't be a gadget geek and have beautiful manicured nails. And, Matt, my compliments on the work you've had done on those beautiful talons there.
Looking good.
Here's something for the beautiful geeks out there. Get yourself some salon-quality nails in the comfort of your own home, and you hardly even have to lift a finger, Matt.
Well, you don't lift a finger at all. You leave them exactly where they are when you place them in the machine. You've got to have a bit of faith in this machine because you stick them in there and things happen to them.
You can't see what's happening.
That's right. And they come out and hopefully your nails look absolutely perfect. When you put them in, it does a 3D scan of your fingernails so it can see how it is going to apply the nail polish.
I chew mine, so that'll be quick.
Yeah, well, that's true. You can actually get it so you can get some fake nails added on as well. So that chewing will be soon put to bed. There's a robotic arm that'll come out and apply coats of polish. In between coats of polish, there's a little fan that dries the actual polish there, so you can have a few coats on there.
You're getting a load of this out there.
And my kids, my female children, I think, spend way too much money on getting their nails done. I think, really? You've got money to spend on that?
You can do that, can't you?
You've got presents to buy me. Why are you spending money on your nails? But I looked at the process machine and I thought it was a bit expensive compared to getting your nails done. But I thought, no, maybe after 3 or 4 months of getting your nails done, the ROI on this machine is pretty good.
You get your nails done every week.
You just do it every day with this machine. Yeah. Just stick it in there and your nails look perfect all the time. So I do like it. It's kind of the size, and while we're looking for other sizing SI metrics there, this is probably half.
How many football fields?
Well, not many.
It's an 80,000th of a football field.
That's right. I was going to say half a carton of beers. So that was carton of beers being the next size measurement there. So about half that size. Put your fingers in, get your nails done, pull them out. They look magnificent every single time. Love it.
There you go. Okay, now it's time to reinvent a classroom classic. If you thought you had mastered the gentle art of paper plane making, Well, we've got something that'll launch your design into the next quarter of the 21st century and beyond. Here is a secret that'll make you the talk of the playground at recess, Matt.
I thought of you actually when I was
Did
thinking
you?
about this one. I was going,
I tell you what, I love a paper aeroplane.
James loves these paper aeroplanes, and this does seem like cheating, but there's a fine line between cheating and technology.
And just using technology.
That's
yeah.
right. So is a cyclist in Tour de France using a carbon fibre bike cheating, or is it just using technology?
No, bring it on.
Yeah, that's right. So this is actually pretty cool. It's got a spine, if you like, a thin spine, and it's got a nose that's fairly robust. So when it lands first, head first, nose first, you can handle
it's
that.
not going to smash on the first go.
That's right. It's got a battery inside that, a little antenna, so you can connect it with your phone. And then at the back, it's got two little propellers. So you fold your paper aeroplane.
Yeah, so you make it out of a clean sheet of A4.
That's right. However you like to fold. I know we've all got different ways we like to fold, and there's different techniques that are definitely the best technique. But once you do all that, then you attach this to it. It's very light, and it just clips onto the paper, and then you can send it, but then control it with your smartphone.
And you can laugh at all your other competitors that are trying to make a better plane than you.
That's right. Now, they do say you can get up to 70 metres out of it, which seems like more than the width of a classroom. Yeah. So that's not too bad.
Big classroom.
That's a big classroom, that's right. So that's pretty good. 32 kilometres an hour. So I reckon I've had some that have gone 32 kilometres an hour when I've thrown them off a cliff maybe, but not in a flat throw. 30 minutes of charge will give you about 10 minutes of continuous flight. So it sounds like something.
And you said you could control it from your phone.
Yeah, so you connect it to your phone.
Turn corners then.
Well, I'm not sure if you can go as far as turn corners. It's got two propellers, so presumably putting more thrust in one than the other could make it turn.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming then that you've got a pretty good aerodynamic surface, which I'm not sure you have with your paper aeroplane.
Mine would.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Other people. I was talking about normal people here. So theoretically, once you get the hang of it, you can do some barrel rolls. You can do some loops. So maybe.
Very cool.
Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to fold it to actually deliver on all of that. Maybe they've got some folding techniques that come
You
with
fold one, it doesn't work so well. You just cannibalise it again, and you can do it all over again.
Well, that's the beauty of it.
That's what I love about this one.
Paper aeroplanes.
Well, who doesn't love a multi-tool? I tell you, I love them. So if you turn your nose up at a Leatherman or a Swiss Army knife, then we can't be friends. But here's something that I don't have yet. It's a 6-in-1 pen, folks. None of my collection of multi-tools can be used to write, and while I have tried many times, none of them can tighten a screw. Matt, I can't believe that it's taken them until now to get this little gem.
The Swiss Army knife is a great idea. Scissors on there,
Idea.
pliers,
I love it.
knives.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I got one for when I was as a 21st birthday present.
There you go.
Still
Just a
use
few
it.
years ago.
Yeah.
That's right. So this is a 6-in-1 multi-tool, which includes a pen, and it's not much bigger than a pen. So you look at it and you go, it's a pen, big deal. But then inside that pen, you've also got a spirit level. So built into the side of it, you kind of go, oh, that makes sense. You can actually see that built in there. So a handy little spirit level. You've also got a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver. You've got a touchscreen stylus on the back of it, and then a ruler along the side. So it's quite clever in terms
Very
of,
handy.
Yeah, the things, because again, on the normal side of a pen, you've normally got a brand name maybe printed, maybe some logo of some company that you stole the pen
Waste
from.
of space.
That's right. But a ruler on the side makes a lot more sense. I think.
Although, if you're ruling something, then you're going to need to use a pen too.
That's part of the problem, isn't it?
That is a bit of a problem.
What was that measurement? I wrote it down. Hold on, what was it again? I wrote it down. Oh, what was it again? And the spirit level, I don't mind the idea of the spirit level. I do use my phone sometimes with the app that gives you a spirit level on there, so that's quite handy. I'm not sure just how accurate it is, but nothing like the simplicity of a spirit level. What
I
a
don't
cool
know how many
concept.
times I've tried to use the lid of a pen as a screwdriver because I just didn't have a screwdriver handy. And I just love the idea that my pen's got a screwdriver on it.
This is tough for you because I know your wife and children are listening as well.
Yep.
And they're going, well, there's 3 presents we've got to buy for James so far, and we're only up to number 5.
And here is something that is perfect for a sweltering Southern Hemisphere Christmas day. It's a personal neck fan, and it'll help you to survive on an afternoon of backyard Christmas cricket. And the look is sleek and sporty, Matt.
Oh, sleek and sporty.
See, when I first
daggy?
read personal fan, I thought it's going to be one of these big things. It's just a big chunky thing from the 80s, and it's going to sit on your shoulder and look really, really dorky. But no, this is a bit sleek.
And the scary part about some of those, I remember some of those personal fans that the propellers on them, the blades on them, folded down,
Yeah.
and then when you turn them on, centrifugal force,
Yep.
they sat up.
Centripetal force, sorry.
Thank you, centripetal force, sat up, and they were fantastic. And then you stopped them and they fell down again, but they seemed a bit dangerous because while they were spinning,
They were still a little bit firm.
yeah, they were a little bit. So this is a much smarter idea. It does look like a very small neck pillow, and I thought that's pretty cool. And then
It looks like a set of headphones, but you don't wear them like a set of headphones.
that's right, a set of headphones that you sit around your neck, as you do see some younger people when they're not listening to their headphones, they just hang them around their neck. It's a bit like that. And they've got 72 wind outlets, 60 twin turbine fan blades. And so essentially you're getting this 360-degree cooling across the entire neck, blowing up across your face and neck.
I love it.
I like that idea. 3 speed, so you change it depending on what heat you've got, how much heat you need, and obviously the lower speed, the battery will last a bit longer. And I thought, that's going to be noisy, just all that wind blowing near you, but apparently measured at your ear is about 20 decibels, so not much essentially. So it seems like a pretty nice way to sit in the backyard playing cricket on Christmas
Exactly.
Day.
Yeah, if it's 42 degrees and you're batting, you can bat till a double century, I reckon.
And just wait till everyone else collapses around you and you
That's
say,
right.
what's going
Right.
on?
That's
Who's
a-
bowling next?
Too hot out here. It's all right, I've got a neck fan. USB power packs have become a bit of a go-to gift in recent years, or something portable to help your phone or tablet survive just long enough to get you to the next power socket. Power packs should probably all be solar powered by now. What do you reckon, Matt?
They should be, and this is a bit of everything in this one. A 10,000 milliamp hour power pack or power bank, is not that big a deal. People have bought those for years, so people are going to go, oh, they've lost the plot here, James and Matthew. 10,000 milliamp power bank, big deal. But this is a 10,000 milliamp power bank that's IPX5 rated for water, dust and shock resistance. So
There you
take
go.
it outside, in the water, in the rain.
Go everywhere, do everything.
When your neck fan starts to run out of battery power, you can have this outside, doesn't matter what's
Have it in
happening.
your pocket and charging up the neck fan as you go.
It uses a lithium cobalt battery, so essentially you've got better than lithium polymer batteries, so that's going to give you better charge density but also more charges. It's got solar panels, as you said, on there. Now, again, surface area, only a small amount of surface area, but if you're out camping, you're out somewhere where you don't have good access to power, just leaving this in the sun all day, or while you're traipsing along out in the open somewhere, just make sure that's exposed to the sun so it's charging up during the day, so
Yep.
it's pretty cool. It's also got wireless charging technology on it, so you can just sit your phone on it. No need for mucking around with silly little cables.
Yeah, right.
But if you do like those silly little cables, it's got 3 charging ports, 3 USB-C outputs, and they're 20-watt USB-C output. So essentially, you've got good fast charging, wireless charging, good modern battery technology, robust, tough, and solar panels. Now, that's what I'm calling a modern power bank.
And a spectacular gift.
Exactly.
Now, we can't leave pets off this Christmas list. We've got them covered this year with a little Christmas luxury. It's a pet massager, and it's the ultimate in perfect pampering. Matt, clearly everyone wins this Christmas.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is a winner for the pets, but also a winner for the humans looking after the pets.
Yeah.
A pet cat or dog comes over and wants to be
Needy.
needy, especially those cats, they're so needy, wants to be patted, scratched, whatever. It gets a bit tiresome after a while. You're sitting there watching the cricket on Boxing Day and you're scratching away going, I just want to sit here and watch the cricket. So you pull out the Purrpal, that's what it is, Purrpal. It's a one button design, that's right, one button design, and it's got 4 little massages on there. So you can just hold this. Careful you don't push too hard on the pet, but you can just hold this over the pet, over stomach, neck, whatever, wherever they like to be scratched and massaged, and these 4 little pads just go away doing their job, massaging. They're made of soft silicon massage nodes, so you've got a nice soft feel. Maybe push a bit harder if you want. It'll automatically turn off after 10 minutes, so if you do fall asleep watching the cricket and it just falls out of your hand, it doesn't keep going forever. Maybe the pet comes and lies on it while it's doing that, but after 10 minutes it finally turns off. So it seems like a good way, and in fact I think you'd be sitting there going, oh, my shoulder's a bit sore, I might just use it on my shoulder and forget the dog or the cat. You can use it on yourself as well. So a nice little massager for your pets.
And still on the subject of gadgets for pets, this next one will raise an eyebrow or two. Now, what if your dog could speak? Today we're opening the channels of communication and giving your dog a voice. Now, this sounds like something from a comic book catalogue of the 70s, but don't flip the page on this one, folks. Matt has the details, and I reckon this is legit.
This is absolutely legit. What are you saying, James, about our ideas? You're saying they're not legit?
Well, I'm saying in the 70s catalogues, those comic book catalogues, the X-ray specs might not have worked.
Okay, right.
We've talked about that in the past.
That's
But
right.
yeah, we're getting dogs to talk now.
And I'm a bit-
Speak English too.
I'm a bit offended that you're comparing our data to the X-ray goggles from the Phantom comics. But this is a way to teach your dog to have a conversation with you that's more than just a bark. Dogs, I'm sure, know exactly what they say when they're barking at you.
They know what they mean.
It's pretty obvious that I want you to come and play ball with me, or want you to give me some food, or take me outside to go to the toilet.
Tell me, have you seen the Gary Larson Far Side comic?
Yes.
Where the guy puts on the headphones to understand what the dogs are saying, and they're going, hey, 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 hey. Anyway.
So in this particular one, you can buy some buttons. This is the Talking Pet Starter Set. Starts with 4 buttons, but you can keep adding as many as you want. They're different colours, so the dogs can recognise the colours, but you record word or words on each of these devices. So, for example, you record the purple one with toilet or outside or something that makes sense to you and the dog. And the dog learns, obviously over a few times that you do it, that when the purple button is pressed, the word that it says means that you open the door to let the dog go outside.
Yeah,
When you
right.
press the orange button and it says play ball, then the dog learns, okay, I'll press that one and let's go outside and play ball. Build up a series of these, and one user said that it eventually got to the stage where she believed her pet had a vocabulary of 50 words.
Oh, wow.
Now, presumably that means that she
She
had
got
50 of
50
these
buttons.
devices there. And I'm not sure how many words you get to until you get to the stage where you start recording some Shakespeare, but essentially the idea would be a way to just have some sort of basic communication from your dog rather than scratching at the door, means I want to go outside, or go over and look at the empty water bowl saying I want to have something to drink.
I just wonder how long it's going to be before the one that says food, 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 before that one gets thrown out the window.
And then your dog starts to become an overweight, obese dog. You go to the vet
More
and they
food,
say,
food,
that's
wanna
right.
eat.
And maybe that is part of the issue there. So maybe you need to think about how you use that one. Maybe not give it
Only
a food
bring out
one.
the buttons every now and then.
That's a good idea. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to do it.
A wise man once said, cool is as cool does. Well, here's a bar fridge that is not only clever in the way it works, but also stylish enough to be on display. This little unit might even bust out of the man cave and find itself snug in amongst all your lounge room furniture, maybe, Matt.
I was actually thinking man cave, but yeah,
Yeah.
sure, why not in the lounge
I
room?
looked at it and I thought, it looks like a slightly retro Well, there were different designs, but one looked a bit like a retro sort of cabinet that you might store some nice stuff in.
Yeah, so it's a fridge. So let's not go too far about this. It keeps things cold. It
Keeps
still
things
does
cold,
that. So
yeah.
the technology in a fridge is quite clever. A compressor in there. It does some quite cool processes that happen to keep things cold. But this is a little bit better than that, where you can view the fridge's interior. So you're on your phone, maybe 3 metres away from it in the lounge room, and you look at your phone and go, oh, hold on, it looks like we're getting a bit low on that particular beer I like. And then you get your robot, which will come along one day to fill up your fridge and put some more beers in the fridge, but you can see what's in there. You can adjust the settings in different components of the fridge, different areas of the fridge. So if you like your beers colder than your wine, maybe you can change the temperature in different sections of the fridge. And again, do that via your app, because if it doesn't have an app, then it's
What's
not
the use
serious,
of it?
is it? It's got some reeded glass to refract light. So if it is outside, if you've got it maybe out on the deck outside, then it's going to refract some of that light, so it's not getting as hot inside. So I just think overall, using a bit of technology and keeping things cold and being able to show your friends what's in your fridge wherever you are sounds like a pretty cool concept. Hey, come into my place, look what's in my fridge.
We can all look at my fridge.
That's right, and look inside there.
And rolling on with something more to zhuzh up your decor. If you love a bit of J.R.R. Tolkien and The Lord of the Rings, then here's a must-have. It's a handcrafted lamp, and it'll bring the one ring to rule them all right to your nightstand. Mate, this is definitely one for the fans, but what a pity about that we're not a visual medium here and we can't show it to people.
Yeah, it's think about a pyramid shape, of resin with characters in there, and the ring, not the ring, a replica, I'm sure it's not the ring.
No, it is the ring, apparently. Yeah.
It's hovering there in mid-space while characters are vying for that. And it's a lamp. So essentially, it's a lamp, a cool way of giving you some extra light. Now, you can put it in your bedroom if you're a big fan. So you've got a nice night lamp, put it in the lounge room if you want something on there. Put it on the fridge that's in the lounge room, and you can just have that there as a feature in your room. But just a different way of giving some light for people that are fans of Lord of the Rings.
And it looks very cool. So
it does look very cool.
Look it up. Google it.
Yeah, go and have a look for it.
Here's a nifty gadget for people who get tired of the small screen on their phone. It's an enlarger, but it's more than a magnifying glass. It's more like a large screen converter. Isn't that right, Matt?
It's a large screen converter, but it's not quite where I want it to be. All I want in my simplistic view of the world to get someone to create for me is a mobile phone the size of the phones we used to have before smartphones came along. And I remember one phone came out, it was a Nokia, and it was advertised as a phone that you could fit in the coin pocket on your pair of jeans. I don't know if we have coin pockets in jeans anymore because no one carries around coins, but it was small enough.
Phone.
It was a tiny phone.
And small enough to lose really easily.
That's exactly right. Now, we've got smartphones which seem to get bigger each year. When someone announces their new phone for this year, it seems like last year it was 6.1 inch, but this year it's 6.2 inch. It just seems to be this gradual increase, phones getting bigger and bigger. So all I want in my simplistic world is a phone small enough to put in my coin pouch or coin pocket if I have one on my pair of jeans. But then when I use it, it suddenly becomes a 55-inch screen, just projected in the mid-air. Is that too much to ask for? Now, you might say we've kind of got that with folding phones now where we can see them a bit smaller and they open up to a bigger phone. But this is another way to do something like that. And it'd be something that you might carry around, for example, in a briefcase, a backpack, and then when you do want to look at your phone, you just pull out this. And so essentially, it's a 14-inch 3D foldable smartphone screen magnifier. And what it does is you sit your phone in it and then you watch the screen, the bigger screen, so your phone projects onto this screen. No sort of power needed for it. It just uses the phone itself and then magnifies that. And so you get to see your normal phone screen, but just bigger. So maybe on a plane, for example, you don't want to carry too much extra stuff with you. Maybe if you're on a train, if you're on a regular commute on a train or a bus each morning, it'd just be a way to watch some things on your phone and see it on a bigger screen without having to carry a much bigger device around with you. So it's a small, compact device. Sit your phone in it, and away you go. You've got a bigger screen.
Cool fun. Well, this next one is not quite as suave and charismatic as a young Tom Cruise of the 80s, but here is a sleek little cocktail maker that'll start your weekend a little cruisier. It's a personal bartender at the touch of a button. Just add a bottle of your favourite this and that, Matt, and you're on your way.
It's exactly right. You start off with 5 glass spirit bottles that you fill up. So vodka, tequila, whiskey, gin and rum. And then you basically go through and put in what you would like. There are certain mixtures you've got, and you've got a barcode to scan. You scan that barcode, wait about 30 seconds, and then bang, there's your bar
tequila
quality,
sunrise, yeah.
Exactly right. Bar quality beverage. You can say, I want it alcoholic, non-alcoholic. I want it mixed up with these things there. And so rather than having someone spin cocktail mixes around and look very impressive, which is great if you're having a nice little party.
If you can afford Tom Cruise.
That's right, if you can afford that. But for most of us, just having a bar mixer. And so often someone says, oh, can you go and make a tequila sunrise or whatever it might be? And you go, sure thing, I'll just go and get on the net and look up how to make that. And don't worry about any of that. You just say, here's the barcode, scan that in, and there's my drink made 30 seconds later. Just a footnote here, we're not encouraging excessive alcoholic consumption around Christmas time, but you can also make mocktails.
But you might like to try all of them.
That's right. At once.
In a modern take on the kids' classic big wheel trike, the ones that were popular in the 70s and 80s, in 2024, they've gone electric with a new way to thrill the kids on Christmas Day. Clear a space and make way, Matt. Kids have got the need for speed.
They have, and I just think kids are getting lazy now, aren't they, when they expect this. It's a trike where you've got the big front wheel and the 2 small rear wheels.
Yeah, that was so cool, and I never had one.
Well, they were so cool, and they used to be able to do cool slides, so you'd go on the bitumen, because there wasn't much grip out of those plastic wheels, and you'd pedal your little heart out, and then you'd spin it.
Drifting,
and they'd spin around in circles, you get dizzy, and then you do it all again. But this is a bit easier than all of that because it's got a 24-volt lithium-ion battery, a brushed DC motor, and you've then got 2 speeds that you set it on. I assume the adults set the speeds, not the kids. You've got 5 kilometres an hour.
The first time.
Yeah, that's right. 5 kilometres an hour and 10 kilometres an hour. You theoretically have a parental speed control key, which you can go and just say, yes, 5Ks or 10Ks an hour.
Okay.
I don't know the range of it, but about 45 minutes of driving. Do you call it driving or riding a trike?
Riding, I'd say
You think
riding.
riding? Yeah, fair enough.
Ride a trike.
So you've got 45 minutes of ride time over there. And so it's one of those great things on Christmas Day. You charge it up and away you go. You sit inside, make your cocktails with the cocktail mixer, and then come back outside 45
and then
minutes
you get
later.
a call from your neighbour who's 45 minutes away saying, look, your son's here.
Yeah, and can you send him home? Well, he's got no charge left now. So the great thing about it takes about 5 hours to charge up. So he's at your neighbour's place for 5 hours.
There's a strong market for air purifiers these days, but they're mostly confined to single-room units. Now imagine if you had your own personal air purifier. Well, you could strut the length of Parramatta Road in peak hour without a care in the world. Matt, Dyson have combined a personal purifier with a Bluetooth headset, and that'll have you looking or rocking that sci-fi look right into 2025.
It's not a good look, is it? It's certainly not a good
look. It does
look.
look like you might be a Star Wars character.
That's right. But it's important now because...
And you should have a figurine made of you.
Well, possibly as well. But I've just come back from Japan again, and you watch the news in Japan, and it happens in other large cities as well, and a standard thing on the news is down in the bottom right-hand corner, it gives you an updated AQI, Air Quality Index. And it's got a number there, and you see a number in the hundreds, and you go, is that good or bad? And then you start to compare it to other cities and what's bad or what's good, and you go, wow, this is terrible. Every day I'm out there breathing this disgusting air. And so that's exactly what they're trying to attack with this sort of feature is headphones. Sure, you walk to work and you're out for a bike ride, whatever it might be, and you've got headphones on listening to music, fine, that's a standard sort of thing. But this has got another arm that comes out across your face, covers your mouth and nose, and then filters pollutants as small as 0.1 microns. So lots of city gases, NO2, SO2, O3, it's filtering all of these out. Essentially, they're saying that it captures about 99% of ultrafine particles. So basically trying to get rid of all that pollution so the air you're breathing is nice and fresh and clean. I don't know if you're meant to use it all day because in the office it's probably not quite as bad as the air out in the street while you're walking to work. But if you're on the train or the bus on the way to work, it probably makes sense to stick this on. Sure, people will laugh at you, but you'll be the one laughing.
Well, it looks like two big fat semicircles, like the headbands of like a set of headphones.
Yep.
But you've got one that comes around in front of your mouth as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if there'll be any people who accidentally put it round the wrong way and have got purifying the air to the top of their scalp.
That's right. Which might be important for hair growth. Who knows? So I would just say to those people, when they laugh at you for wearing this, just say, see me in 50 years' time and let's have a look at our lung quality, how we're going then.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's $88 to ring me in 50 years' time and tell me how you're going.
Now, if you suffer from chronic leg pain or maybe you just tend to overdo it on leg day at the gym, you need access to a personal leg massager. Throw this next gadget on, sit back and relax while your legs get shiatsu'd from your toes to your thighs. Matt, these are some space-aged boots.
I reckon I was at a Crowded House concert recently, and I reckon if I had some of these to sell...
You would have been wearing them.
Oh, I would have been wearing them as well, but looking around, just the age of the average audience member, and while we all stood there watching Crowded House on the Opera House steps, I'm thinking, yeah, this audience doesn't look like they want to stand here all night. They look like they wouldn't mind sitting
all
down.
went home for a leg massage.
They did. I reckon they all went home and rested their legs. Someone gave them a massage or they put them in a nice hot bath. But these here are quite cool. So you could probably wear them out to a concert. They give you a massage that's mimicking a professional massage. Now, apologies to any professional massagers out there. I'm sure it is a little bit better. But essentially, if you get some discomfort due to prolonged standing or an intense workout, or you just do have some poor circulation, maybe because you are getting a bit old, then this sort of device would be absolutely perfect to you. They look like a big boot in terms of just a big...
Over the knee?
Over the knee. Well, there's a part that goes above the knee, part below the knee, but a big long boot. sort of boot that you might wear if you're dressed up as Santa Claus, for example. So you put these on and it just gently massages both your legs at the same time, and you don't get someone saying, I'm sick of doing this now, can I stop?
Yeah.
And just keep
I've got
going.
sore thumbs.
That's right. Whatever you've got them powered up and going, then it sounds like a pretty good way to get some massage there. Mainly focus on the calves, obviously, but just all your legs there. Promote that circulation and make you feel good to go out there and play a bit more cricket in the backyard.
There you go. Feather dusters are so 19th century. Now, if you're still waving a windy wand around your lounge room, then you need to get some 21st century power to blast that filth to oblivion. Matt, introduce the clean freaks to the electric air duster.
Well, I still keep a can or two of compressed air.
Just in case.
Well, I like to clean keyboards out and that type of thing, and what better way to do it than some compressed air?
You're a clean freak. You need this thing.
I need this thing because compressed air is fine in a can, but it gets a bit expensive when you keep using it. What this does is, I would actually say it replaces compressed air in a can. It's a little cordless device. It's got a beautiful little motor in there that spins at about 150,000 RPM. It would deliver, and I'm not sure that I've seen this before, 180 grams of air pressure. I didn't know that gram to be used to measure air
I would
pressure.
have thought you need to have a surface area there as well to talk about. But anyway.
So anyway, that's how they've marketed 180 grams of air pressure. Don't quite understand that one. What I did understand is the wind speed is about 52 metres per second. So multiply that by That's right. Multiply that by 3.68 kilometres per hour, and you're getting up around the sort of 200 kilometres an hour mark. So that's not too bad. What they also do is they make sure that the air that comes out doesn't have liquid in it, doesn't have moisture in it, as you would normally do when you've got moisture in the air. So one of the reasons I used to buy compressed air cans is because they guarantee that air coming out is moisture-free, because you don't want to go and spray your electronics and basically just inject a lot of water into them. So this here says it gets no liquid, doesn't create any ice. So for any electronics that you want to clean out, whether they be keyboards or other electronic devices, sounds perfect. But even keyboards, cameras, so camera lens, for example, people always struggle with the camera lens if they've got a decent camera, trying to clean that lens. And what do you rub on that? I don't want to scratch it. How do I get that clean? Well, blasting it with a bit of air sounds like a pretty good way to do it. But even just your car, anything that you want to clean, you just need a bit of high-pressure air, this sounds pretty good. It looks like just a small, I don't want to say the word gun, but I can't think of another example of that, but it's got a small...
It's a gun.
It's right, let's just call it what it is. It's a gun for air. It looks like it's got a magazine you'd hold on to.
It looks like a hairdryer, but a supercharged hairdryer.
A hairdryer with a long stem that you'd hold on to. And again, good battery size, 7,600 milliamp hours. It'll charge up in about 2.5 hours, and then away it goes, and it'll just keep everything blasted clean for you. So
there you go.
What a great way to keep things clean.
Old feather dusters.
That's right, on Christmas Day.
Have you ever put your ear to a table and then just listened? This is a junior science experiment. Sound travels really easily through hard surfaces like tables, and that means hard surfaces like tables can become a speaker if the sound is channeled directly into it. Matt, who doesn't love a Christmas physics day?
Exactly right. Bone conduction is pretty cool. You've got headphones that are bone conduction headphones if people want to use them to talk on, so that you're not getting all the wind noise if you're out riding a bike, for example. So they've been a fairly popular thing. But bone conduction vibration can be used in speakers. And these little speakers are about 3.8 centimetres in diameter. You sit them on any surface. Now, they've got magnets, they've got suction cups, they've got adhesive cups. So whatever you want to stick them to, whether it be something that's metallic or something like a piece of glass or, as you say, a table, whatever noise it's picked up in there, this speaker will take that noise and amplify that. So I thought of things like a table, good example there, and just see how it travels when you might tap at one end of the table and how much sound comes out of the speaker. Think about glass and what noise there might be outside, and it pick up and amplify that. But then I also thought of Christmas Day when Grandpa falls asleep watching the Christmas and he's snoring away. What noise is his stomach making? So just go and stick it on there with an adhesive pad to his stomach and just hear what noise is going on there after Grandpa's fallen asleep. All sorts of wonderful things. But it does sound like a good Christmas physics experiment, doesn't it, to see what noise is in stuff, what noise is inherent in there, and let it get amplified by the speaker.
Christmas physics, there's nothing like it. Now, as a kid, I remember getting a build-your-own crystal radio kit for Christmas, And if you're any good, you could pick up a local AM radio station to everyone's amazement. It was regarded as retro nostalgia even back in the 80s standards, but it was nonetheless delightful. Well, the new Christmas 2024 take on that theme is build your own retro arcade game. Matt, this is a lovely little stocking filler, and it may just awaken a budding electronics nerd.
It could indeed, and I do like the idea that you've got to build it, although it's a bit like Lego. You've got to build Lego, but you get the instructions for it. So they don't say, here's a picture of a boat and here's a bunch of pieces, go for it. And this is a bit the same. It's a build your own retro arcade kit, so you can recreate a 70s game, a 70s arcade game that looks a bit like Pong. I'm not sure if Pong ever made it to an arcade game, but it was a game.
I'm sure I saw it in one of those tents at the show
back
in the day. Yeah.
Right. I thought
it wasn't making a whole lot of money, so it would have been like a 10-cent machine or whatever.
Yeah, sure. So I thought it was really only used for TVs when you'd get this device and go, look at this, it's a game. Not that great a game. But this comes with all the basic components, the instructions on what you've got to solder together to make this game work. You need some batteries to make it work after you've got it all put together, and then away you go. So you're just tying up the kids, and if you're happy, giving them a nice hot soldering iron as well, and say, there you go, keep yourself amused for a couple of hours. We'll go and listen to Grandpa's stomach making a few noises, and then we'll see how you've gone with that. But I do think
it was just like the
encourages.
crystal radio kit, right? I mean, the crystal radios have been around since the 30s or 40s or whatever, and in the 80s it was just like, oh, what's this that Grandpa's given me? And so you'd have a play with it, and then the next thing you know, you're picking up this AM radio station. It's like, oh, wow, this thing really works. I think you'll get the same buzz out of it. It's a sort of a Christmas knick-knack, and it might not have a lot of longevity, but a lot of fun nevertheless.
And isn't that the idea of Christmas? You get around and start doing stuff on Christmas Day. You want to be active. You want to be doing things. So get the soldering iron out and start putting it together, and then playing Pong. And
Dad, I've burned myself on a soldering iron.
Yeah, that's right. What's going on?
Now, we threw this next gift up as an option a couple of weeks ago, I remember. We just didn't want you to forget it. So it's one for the real Rubik's Cube nerds. If you might need a decent credit rating, though, as an advance warning, though, Matt.
We did do this as a previous story. I do apologise for that, but I just thought it was such a good Christmas gift.
Can't let that one slide.
And I did think this would be perfect for my kids to get me. I do like my Rubik's Cubes, definitely good fun. This is officially the world's smallest Rubik's Cube. So it measures about 1.6 millimetres. So that's each of the 9 squares measures 1.6 millimetres. The whole thing weighs 0.3 of a gram. And essentially, I think you probably need tweezers to go and do it. I want to see the speed record, the world speed record for doing this one. I'm not sure you'll get down to 10 seconds.
Tweezers, yeah.
That's right. You would need tweezers to actually handle it. The only minor side might be, and this will be a bit of a test to see how much my kids love me, is that you'll pay about $11,500 for it. That's Aussie dollars for it.
Yep. Good Christmas present.
It's a good Christmas present, that's right. Deliveries aren't expected to start until April 2025. So it's something that you would actually put an order in and say, look at this, my good friend,
and in
my darling father.
They would have a picture of this thing.
They would have a picture, but a certificate to say that you really did spend the money on putting in a pre-order for this to prove that you definitely
get you
were ready to
hanging
go.
out waiting for this little 5mm cube.
That's right. Yeah, sounds fantastic. But it just gives you an idea of how far we've come in precision engineering, that you can actually manufacture a working Rubik's Cube of this size. Is it going to start a competition? I'm wondering about this. Is it going to start people going, 1.6 millimetres? Ha! I can make one. 1.5 millimetres, and away you go from there.
I just hope you don't spend like $12,000 on this thing and then have it break on the 6th turn.
That's right. Or start peeling the stickers off.
Yeah, you're too firm with your tweezers. And that's all we have for you today, folks. It's quite a bit, so you've got no excuses now. 20 gift ideas to make Christmas at your place the envy of the neighbourhood and keep everyone entertained well into 2025. On behalf of every single one of our listeners, Matthew, thank you for solving our pre-Christmas dilemmas.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Have you got a favourite out of all those? Is there one that you go,
look,
to my darling wife and kids, this is the one I want?
I'll probably put the air purifier on the bottom of the list somewhere down there. But the paper plane little extra bit there, love that. So, and the pen
The 61
multi-tool.
pen. I do like that one, yeah. And I said, when we did the plane, I thought, yeah, James is going to like the plane. He likes his paper planes.
Yeah, hit your
Especially,
mark.
what you need is probably two of them, though. To be fair, it's a bit unfair, isn't it? If you just get one of them and you say...
Not everything in
Christmas-
life is fair, though. Matt.
True. When you say to the kids, right, we're going to put the washing up on who can fly a paper plane the furthest, and they do their folding, and you come out with a Bluetooth-controlled one.
With my phone going,
That's right.
yeah. No, that sucks to be them.
Now, don't forget, this isn't the last episode for the year, but we just wanted to get this in early. People need a few weeks to go out and find these different devices and get them ordered and get them here in time. So,
Bingo.
not the end of the year yet, but just a good Christmas special to get people thinking about Christmas time.
Exactly. You've been listening to Tech Talk with Matthew Dickerson, our Christmas gift episode for 2024. We hope that we've hit the mark for you and yours, and just in the nick of time. And you are welcome. As Matthew said, we're not finished. We still have a few more original Tech Talking episodes to come before Christmas, and then a week or two of our best-ofs leading into the new year. I'm your host, James Eddy, cranking up for the carols for the car trip home, and signing off with a ho-ho-ho, wishing you all good luck and happiness as you trundle through this Yuletide season, setting up for a super Christmas day. See you next week.